Hi, welcome. I'm Priscilla Batzel. This is Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Gallery's demonstrations and tutorials. Let's have some fun. Go now. So this is a 16 by 20 inch canvas, and I'm going to do my very best to make a mess. This is perfect indigo, and use it as a background. Red-Violet. And test out to see what happens to colors that are light, like this Oriental blue. This is Cyan Aqua. I think it would be good with some vivid intense. It says it's green, but it looks very blue-green. Let's just start with that. I'm going to leave it kind of heavy so it has a chance to actually cover. And I'm not going to clean my spatula off in between. And I might just go ahead and use a rubber brush to remove the rest of the colors there. We'll deal with the gaps later. I'm going to wipe that off. Which reminds me, I need to have my studio sponge dampened. Oh, fortunately it's still damp from yesterday. That's good. Alright, I'm going to use some dazzling white. I think I'm going to spread that first. And I'm going to look for my Rhapsody Rose, which should be right here. But if it isn't, I'll use Dancing Fuchsia. There it is. I got it. Cool. I planned on starting this with Orange Crush, but I did not do so. I figure it doesn't matter what the shapes are to begin with, honestly, because I'll be adding paint as I go along. I think I'm going to mix in some groovy guava. Along with the Dancing Fuchsia. And I might contemplate some Whispering Wisteria for a moment. No, maybe I'll skip it for now. Still want the orange. I still want to keep using my residuals. Bound to learn something as I go along. It's sort of like mosaic. I want some gold, but I haven't made up my mind what to use with, and I think it's going to be the orange. Remove paint chips. Not going to worry about that little spot there. Maybe the saffron as well. Since I'm almost out of Orange Crush and I'm not sure I have any more, which is sad. That's the saffron. I'm thinking right now, I have a bunch of pink carnation. After cleaning up my little incident, seems like there's something in the tip. A little yellow-orange won't hurt anything. Although I'm almost out, it's time to mix some more and I'm not sure I have that either. About time I ran out of some stuff actually. See if I can smooth that out. I think I'm going to try and get some more pink carnation out. It's looking like something's protruding right out of the top, and it doesn't really want to come. Gonna have to clean that bottle out. What else can I use in there? Groovy Guava. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like I should use the one that's open already. And since I want it a little darker, I'm going to throw a little bit of Dancing Fuchsia right on top of it. That initial spot where the pink carnation wound up is bugging me. But I can't let anything bother me now, except for that bubble. The bubble had to go. So I'm just going to keep cleaning off my paint. I'm hearing the call to Blue Velvet. Which is another one that sometimes has an issue, so let's be careful. I'm going to use a little bit of Blue Flame with that. And do I see the Egyptian blue? Yes, I do. I want some green, but I think I'm going to resist the green and go for Cerulean Sea, which I actually want to put over here as well. I have some Poseidon blue too. Oh, I see I've got to pull something out. I want some purple. Deep amethyst, in fact. I really want something in here. I'm thinking about some green. Like Fangango. I think I'll just use the paint on my spatula for right now. Right after I pull that thing out that does not belong. Actually, come on, move. Once I take the paint off, it's a lot easier to clean the spatula also. You know what? I'm going to go for more turquoise. Cyan aqua. I'm hearing the call to gold and white, and I'm not sure why. But I can always put colors over them. Oops. I'm going to have to just leave things that appear. Or, I suppose, I could try and pick it up with a Q-tip, which is always better wet. So moisten it with your breath. Let's grab some of this. Okay, so what's next? Suppose I could keep moving colors in. That might be alright. So where to next? I'm thinking I want to try some stuff like periwinkle. Which may or may not show up on the black, but we'll find out. Hearing the call to some Royal Sapphire. I never did use the green, so maybe it's time. Come on out. I know there's some in there. Maybe I should use a clean brush just on general principles. That's not a bad color. I kind of like it with this purple over here. Maybe more green is in order. I'm going to wind up using a lot of brushes, I can tell. Some of which I might be smart to put in the bucket. I think I'm going back to orange again. Those brushes in the bucket so the paint does not harden on them. Should have stopped and cleaned out the pink carnation. But speaking of pink, maybe I can just substitute Groovy Guava, or maybe Miami Magenta, or better still, Ginger Flower. Which should have required a little white, probably. Almost out of Ginger Flower. Oh my goodness, there's bunches of stuff in there. Which unfortunately means it would be a good idea to go back through there again. I want the paint off this brush. If I don't have to waste it, I'm not going to. I don't have but a minute, if that. And there's always tomorrow, although that color over here is looking very heavy. So I ran out of time pretty much. But I want to finish what I started. Grab another spatula, maybe the small spatula, and use some of that dazzling white. To make some marks before going on. I've got some jasmine and an interest in using it. I want to mix it with some Dancing Fuchsia now that I see how light it looks, but it will dry darker for sure. What do I do with my extra white? I just put it down. Trying to make a mess. I really am. This looks like it could use a little more help. Maybe it's Rhapsody Rose I want over there. I keep dribbling. And a little more Dancing Fuchsia. I want some gold too. I like that better. Something in there. Pretty sure anyway. Kind of want to use a toothy tool just briefly. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. Briefly isn't my thing. Once I get started, I want to continue. Not even sure how to do what I'm thinking about doing, but if it works, it'd be cool. Well, I don't know how cool it is, but it's something. Makes me want to put marks in and use up my paint. Take chances. Let's grab one of those tools. And use my leftovers where? That's not a bad place. It'll add some texture when I come back to work at this again. I like the texture it leaves. actually having a lot of fun. I'm going to have to wipe it off though. Wow, that was a lot of paint. I'd really like to use it. It's mostly gold. I think I can grab some of it back off the paper towel and put it right back on the tool. It's just where do I want to use it? Come on. Just can never leave well enough alone. I need to wipe this off and I hate doing it. I guess I'm done for now. I say that, but you can never ever trust me. Okay, I'm going to call it for the moment. Okay, I'm back and it's overnight and I don't have any solid plans, but I got a couple ideas. I want to add a little more gold to that one spot that's sort of lacking. And use a big brush because the rest of it's dry to spread it. A little brush to remove the extra, as per usual. Because I'd liked it to be a little more gold than it was. Wipe that off. Thinking about some water lily over here. Come on, drip. Thank you. I want colors that will stay lighter. I've opened my bottle of yellow Added some art fluid and given it a bit of a stir. I'd like to embrace the accidental nature of the marks I'm making. I think that'll add something to it. I'm going to use a little more Dancing Fuchsia. Right there. Maybe spread the love into the grooves. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to use the same thing right there. Oh, wow, I made it all go away. That's amazing. Alright, where was I going to put my yellow? I think over here somewhere. And maybe that's a chopstick, by the way. I've got metal ones too, and I use them both. Alright, I'm going to use a little more water lily. And I'm going to try some blue flame. Could easily just have been Snapdragon. I'm going to leave my brush dirty. Kind of don't want to get rid of all the blue. I probably won't. It'll probably dry dark. The small brush is leaving too many marks behind. I want a little bit. White. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but seems to be working okay. Take care of that yellow before it gets too late. I want a little bit of that over here. I don't think using any of it as a residual will hurt anything. I want some more turquoise too. I keep calling the cyan aqua turquoise because it kind of is, you know. I thought about adding black around all kinds of things, and it's not too late for me to keep thinking that either. I like the idea of adding some red violet in there. I'm using my big brush more than I anticipated because everything isn't wet. It gives me room to play. I think I'll go back afterwards. think I want something else in there. I've got it. Blue Velvet. I could just leave that alone. I like that so much I might put it somewhere else too. I might just spread it around. Alright, something wants to go in here, and I'm going to take a chance and try some Oriental blue. Maybe to make it a little more blue, I'll put a little bit of blue flame with it. And because I like the effect of dirty brushes, I'm going to not clean it. I have turquoise and purple, turquoise and red violet. If I go too much further, I might not be happy. I want something in here, and I think it's going to be orange. I'm going to clean off my brush. Maybe tangerine. No, needs to be orange. Or maybe jasmine. I don't know how that's going to dry. I just got rid of that brush I was using. I need to grab a new one. Oh, it's right there underneath me. Go figure. Definitely thinking pink. I still got to manipulate that yellow. And then she cleaned her brush off in the middle of the painting. I like that yellow. I prefer not to drip though. I need a clean brush. That one's got to go in the bucket. I always wanted to figure out what it would be like to try and work over. That does not belong. It didn't do much damage. I'm not sure I've made any improvements, but I liked it when I started anyway. Definitely thinking about some more Fangango. I'm moving that yellow right out of here so I don't dump over what I've got left. I'm going to leave the yellow on my brush, am I? I'm going to leave the pink on my brush. I don't really mind that. Or that. Although I want some more turquoise right there. I'm a little worried about going too far. I'm thinking that that gold, I shouldn't have let that gold dry without giving it some texture. I'm not sure if anything's better, but I like it still, so that's not a bad thing. Still trying to work my way up to being messy, which I'm not very good at. Which sounds like a good thing, but I'm not sure that it is. I'm not sure where to go from here. I sort of need to stand back and have a look. But I am hearing the call to some colors, so I'm going to just keep trying to move on it. Whoa, that was more than I anticipated. So where else should I put that? And that's not actually a bad thing. I'm going to put some black in and then move it around. I hope I don't regret it. I do love using my residuals, especially when they're mixed colors, because it's always a surprise. Usually a good one, strangely enough. Gotta be careful, not enough paint means the brush will stick to the canvas. Alright, I guess if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. Probably eradicate lots of things that I like. This might be the perfect opportunity to just leave some lines. Okay, I'm nervous. I use my residuals. As I go along, I think. They're very striking. And I like it when they integrate themselves right into the marks that are already there. Yeah, that's definitely dynamic. Didn't know what I was doing till I did it. But I'm almost done, I think. That is definitely that. Well, very close anyway. I had no idea I was going to like it as much as this. That's dynamic. I know I'm repetitious right now. So my camera may shut off, so I'll come back in a second. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the compliments that keep my morale boosted. Thank you for the donations that help keep me painting. Please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing my videos. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you watch longer or watch some of the commercials or make a comment, those things are all super helpful to me. My creative playlists are on my YouTube channel. And if you go to my YouTube channel banner, you'll find the PayPal icon. Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links on my link tree. My community board will show you tomorrow's videos. If you have questions or you want the paint pouring recipe, ask me questions, it will. The paint pouring recipe is below Show More. When you click Show More, you're going to find my email address. Thank you for everything. Shop my Amazon link, please. You can buy anything you want from there. And my 2 books are there, Because I Can and Unlimited Possibilities, volumes 1 and 2. Thank you again for being here. I love you guys dearly. You inspire the heck out of me. Bye for now. Priscilla out.